Hello friends, this is Vinit Mishra from foggiest and this is my blog where I have given you the link of this how to make an app with JavaScript from scratch. So this is a little overview of what I'm going to show you after some time or below into this link only. And so first let's go. Let me introduce you with this title, how to make an app with JavaScript from scratch. So first of all, required skills under your belt. This means that you should have some prior skills before diving into the app development, right? So there are three languages: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which you should already know if you want to develop an app in JavaScript. HTML provides you a skeleton of creating a header, footer, and yeah, the contents and all. CSS we use for designing in the sense, if you want to make something fix, if you want to make something scrollable, if you want to fix the header on the top. So these are the means this functionality you can get by using CSS. And JavaScript is basically used for creating dynamic things onto the web page, right? But now as we are creating an app with JavaScript, so this app will also use our JavaScript technology only, and we will write all the business logics, all the slides, animations, navigations and all into JavaScript only. So talking about JavaScript, it's the fastest. Yeah, of course, JavaScript is a very fast growing language, and if you will use Node.js, then also you will write the backend codes. Of course, I'll teach you how to write backend codes, because definitely I'll going to use JavaScript only for everything, for backend, for front end, for app. So these are some topics that you have to cover before diving into the app development, and I assume that you know a little bit about JavaScript, so that is why I have not provided you with the first topic of learning any language, not about JavaScript but Java, C++, and all, because they all have that variables means the container where you store the values, so that I have not covered here. But yes, operators, you will find tutorials where you can get this operator, loops, conditional statements, arrays, objects, closures, and these are JavaScript promises, because JavaScript is a kind of JavaScript uses asynchronous request, where you need not to, like, suppose if I am selecting something September, so see here the browser runs, but in your asynchronous request, these kind of things happen into the backend, so you need not to refresh the page every now and then, and the requests and response will be handled in the backend in the sense, it will be like a service which you will call every time when you will click somewhere something happens. So yes, that's JavaScript. Recursion, oops is mandatory. Oops is why mandatory? Because oops is mandatory. Why mandatory? Because we have to create some classes. Now ES6 is there, so ES6 is a class based programming language, so that is why you have to create a class, extend some other classes, right? Use the components of those classes, methods and all. So that is why oops concept is very necessary, and if you don't know oops concept, then you should learn Java, the basic Java, so that you would have any idea of how oops work, and what is inheritance, what is polymorphism, what is I don't want to take all the names, because the focus of my blog is complete JavaScript. So that is the thing. So that was the requirements while creating an app. So now this is, choose a framework, featured framework in the sense, the framework which have everything that you need to build an app. So I have almost categorized these frameworks into two lists. So one is a UI framework, another is a build tool. So UI framework is will provide you components. Components means header, footer, content, navigation, list, card, and everything. So framework 7 is there, Jquery Mobile. So because Previously when the app development was there with the hybrid apps, what people has done, have done, they have created frameworks. So framework 7 is also written in HTML and CSS, but the CSS is written in a way that will render your page, means similar to a mobile. So let me open this framework 7 so that you can have a little bit idea. No, not Facebook. Yes, RAM framework 7. Okay, it has both versions, iOS also, material also. I am talking about material only. So yeah, so this is everything. This everything is written into HTML and CSS, but it has given you the look and feel of Android app. So lorem ipsum, everything, accordion is there, header is there, footer is there, everything is there. So that you can use. So this is the UI framework. This another UI framework is Jquery Mobile, Jquery Mobile. This is quite old because nowadays material design is there into the development, so nobody is using, means of course somebody might have been using Jquery Mobile, but most of the people do not use this Jquery Mobile. Angular material is also there, Angular material Angular material. This is completely based on material UI, which is latest in the app development. User interface, demos, autocomplete, bottom sheet. So these designs are material designs which you can take advantage of these frameworks. Secondly, material UI, native base. Native base is used for React Native. It will provide you all the components, header, footer. Again, same components are there. Which they use and reuse with different kind of codes. And yeah, build tools. Some of the build tools also have their own UI framework, like Ionic. Ionic itself has everything written into Angular 2. Ionic 2 is there, so that is why I'm talking about Angular 2. Ionic 2 versus React Native. That was a little bit comparison which I was doing someday. Ionic 2. For learning, see, the first thing that I want to tell you about Ionic 2 is I completely do not know Ionic 2, how it works, how to make an app in Ionic 2. So I'll make an app on Ionic 2 and I'll show you that also into the next video, that how to learn anything, something new, some new framework, some new technology, some new. Sorry, I do not get the perfect word for that, synonym kind of thing, over the last 2 years. So he has given preview Ionic 2, ionicframework.com installation. So I'll start with everything, installing it, using that concept, tutorials, deploying an app and all. So I'll create an app, I'll show you how to create, I'll show you how to deploy it onto the server. PhoneGap, Cordova, very old technologies. Still some of the people are using it. Sencha Touch, no idea because they have some paid versions. Xamarin is also paid. Intel XDK, I have not used it. And once in UI, not used. React Native I used, very good. Native Script I used, very good. Native Script is based on Angular 2, React Native is based on React, and both of the technologies are written into Java environment to support all the XMLs, all the UI components of core Android. So this is pretty good, and the apps, those built on these technologies are not hybrid apps. They have core Android components used inside it. So that is why this is very good as per of the UI or look and feel wise, and also from the functionality perspective. So there are many others out there, of course. App architecture means how you construct your files and folders, how you construct your code, how you create a navigation, how you create links between two pages, how you create user authentication so that he cannot go to some inner pages without login. So this is app architecture which you should create before creating any app. That will provide you again a roadmap on which you can go through and create your app. Searching for tutorials, that's the main part, searching for tutorials, because you will build everything from the tutorial only. And why so? Because Of course, technology is changing and we cannot learn everything in a quick, right? We have to spend some time, a month, a week, sometimes an year. So there are a lot of tutorials that we you can go through if you want to create something today. And if you'll start learning from the beginning, then all your time will consume into the learning things, because learning is something that you can do also by creating something. Right. So if you'll create something, you'll learn something. You can find unlimited, of course you can find. So Udacity, I use this Udacity because they have a very good tutorial, and Google has created some of the tutorials for Android development. So if you want to learn something basic about Android, that how Android works, what is the XML file, how what are the Java codes, and what are the basic components like list view, scroll view, drawer, and there are so many components, I cannot take all the names. So how to create two activities are nothing but the pages, but they have given some complex names so that yeah, of course they have means technology is using complex names. Why? Because of course, if you are purchasing something to the client, give them something which they get fear, they get, if the client will know what is this, what is that, then why he will going to purchase anything? Because he will think, oh, it's a simple, it's creating two pages, or it's not a big deal. So that is why some of the most of the time this technology people use some complex name like JavaScript, variables. What is variable? Nothing. Variable is a kind of control, means a container. Loops, arrays, asynchronous request, synchronous request, what the fucking things are there? So you need not to consider it on, means do not panic by listening or by hearing or by reading all these names, because these are big names with small meaning, small functionality, small definition, right? So let's move ahead. Handling errors and path breakers means sometimes what happens if we get stuck at somewhere, sometimes so if we get some error into our code, into our development phase, then we leave that thing. Means if I have got this error, oh, I don't want to build this, will make it someday when I learn completely JavaScript, when I learn completely Angular, when I learn completely React, then only I'll build this, because right now it's giving so many errors. So this kind of mentality will stop your production. So if you are getting any error, just copy and paste the error onto the Google. Just sometimes what happens is the solution of that error is inside that error only. Like means the very common error which we get is cannot find the name of this undefined, cannot find means the property of this is null, the value is this is null. So that is why these kind of error comes. So it means that in the initial means initially even I was very confused, I was very afraid of these errors, means why this error is coming all the time in my code. But when I started learning, when I started seeing, means this variable is undefined, the name of this is something xyz is undefined, then I got to know that okay, I have to define this xyz. So var xyz equal to something, let xyz equal to something. So when I did this, I came to understand the errors, how error comes, what is the main reason of coming error. So when you will start handling the errors, you will learn the language, you will learn the scopes, global scopes, local scope, so everything. Publishing and getting feedbacks. Publishing is very simple, but when we have not done anything, we have not created something that we have published somewhere, so we don't know how to publish it, how to create something, because publishing itself is a big name. You are going to publish something, right? So also again this publishing word is a big name with a small meaning. You just have to put your app somewhere into the market and let people download it and give you some feedback. So this is also a short topic which I'll do one thing. I'll create an app on Ionic 2. I don't know what kind of app. I have certain ideas in my mind, so I'll create one right now only after this video, and I'll update this post, and we will see how things work, how we create app, what is the development process, what is the file structure, how to install, how to install the softwares and check for the errors if comes. So earn money and upgrade skills. Earning money, this is the main part. Earning money, if you learn something, if you'll upgrade your skills, definitely some guys are there who are, not some guys but millions of people are there who are willing to pay you if you'll solve their problem. So if you'll create some app which will solve the problem of someone, then definitely he will be happy to give you some bucks, not much but some bucks. So it's very easy to earn money if you will understand the concept of creating something, if you will understand the concept of providing, giving. So that will be easy. Initially it will be less, but eventually it will increase, and it will increase like hell. So trust me, things will gonna work. And research, do R&D, learn new things. So that was a short intro of this how to make an app with JavaScript. Keep tuned in with this blog, keep coming and researching new things, not on this blog but other places of course, because this is just the one post I have created and started something new for my own self and for providing you something great to you guys also. So fine, cool, bye. We will meet after some time in the next video.